Hey everyone, I'm Norn Queen Alexis and welcome back to the channel. Today we are answering your questions. If you have any questions of your own, be sure to comment them in the comment section down below. So today's question is a good one. I actually really like this one. Could the demon primarchs be stripped of their demonhood, set back as it were? Well, kind of. Okay, so this one is very up to interpretation of what the Emperor meant at the end of Plague Wars. So if you haven't read Plague Wars, spoiler warning, it's fucking good. Read it. If you haven't read it, it's probably the best books of the newer 40k books that have come out, being second only to like Martyred Lady and Celestine. But I really like the Plague War series. It's fantastic. But in the final, in the finale of the final conflict between Mortarion, everyone's least favorite Primarch, and Guilliman, also everyone's least favorite Primarch, when the two brothers were fighting each other, Mortarion slipped him a little bit of a dose of something into his neck because everyone knows Guilliman's neck is very sensitive. God knows Yvraine's probably been biting that. But uh, Mortarion actually did manage to kill Guilliman. And, you know, he got a case of accidental oopsie daisy, hit me in the neck, I die. It's happened before, and it's Guilliman's ultimate weakness. So Guilliman, while being all dedilated, decided to go, I died. You know, it would be really cool if I ascended into Super Saiyan. That's definitely not something that's cheesy and out of nowhere, and definitely not plot armor in any way, shape, or form, which ultimately ruins the series, but is kind of cool in some way, shape, or form. Which ultimately means Guilliman could never die, which means that the Imperium has another unkillable hero. But anywho, complaints about the story and how plot armor in 40k is the most powerful thing you could ever have. Gilliman gets a little bit of daddy juice when his father, the Emperor, decides to give him the golden light and possess his body. And Mortarion's like, holy shit, I'm Mortarion. And I don't know why he had to say his own name, but you know, he's a demon, he does that. Mortarion, being a fucking ugly moth, was all like, oh my god, is that my dad? And the Emperor was all like, hey son, how are you? I can I can stop this right now, and I'm going to, and I can kill Nurgle potentially, but I need my son alive for my future plans. So don't give him the death. So I'm gonna go ahead and heal him, and I can get you too. And Mortarion's like, wait, what? And he's all like, what? And then it just poofs out of existence. Anywho, Gilliman comes back. Mortarion is defeated. Nurgle is pissed at Mortarion. Book just ends out of absolutely nowhere, but it's still a good read. I'm summarizing it and making it sound stupid, but it's actually a really, really good book, and I highly recommend it. But in that instance, the Emperor did resurrect Gilliman, and in doing so, said to Mortarion that he could save him. Now, does that mean that he means that he could kill a Mortarion and then save his soul and bring it to the light of the Astronomicon? Or does that mean that he could potentially undo his demonhood? Is up to interpretation. Personally, I like the idea that the Emperor left his most loyal Primarchs in very key locations and needing them exactly when he needs them. I think Mortarion might actually turn his. I think Mortarion and Perturabo will more than likely turn their back on Chaos. And that's my two picks for need to turn to Chaos. Or is it Perturabo? Who's the iron guy that's actually bad? Not the one that lost his head to Fulgrim because Fulgrim blew out his back. Um, God, I cannot remember his name. I think it's Perturabo. It's like Pro Turbo, right? But anyway, I do believe those two Primarchs can actually be undemoned and returned to the Imperial fold. Not really the Imperium, but more like renegades instead of imperialistic. So it there is a potential for Primarchs to be undemonified and just come back. Also, keep in mind that the demon Primarchs don't always maintain their demon form. They don't always look like their giant demon form. They can actually look like their normal form and act like their normal form and then just transform into the demon. This happened in Saturnine when Rogel Dorn beat the absolute piss out of Fulgrim and beat him so hard that I actually lost respect for Fulgrim because he was beaten like a bitch into submission and then ran away like a scared little bitch. Like that. Saturnine is an amazing book, by the way. If I haven't pointed this out, Saturnine and Mortis are fantastic books. But yeah, overall, do I think that they could come back? Personally, yes. I think there is a way to rip the demon from them. Be gone, demon, hold up the Imperial Kree, and the demon just gets out of them. And the Primarchs, being pseudo perpetuals, could potentially resurrect their body, but it might burn through their perpetuality, so they would only have one extra life until they, got something else that made them perpetual again. Similar to how Vulcan resurrected and then burned up his pseudo perpetuality fighting a Primarch, which ultimately shows just how fucking weak he was, considering he took on one and Horus, unpowered, killed one. But we're not going to compare Primarch's feats right now because Vulcan falls very short. He's the tallest of the Primarchs. Woo, that's what he's got going for him. He's also a genocidal maniac, but we're not going to talk about that. So, do I think they can come back? Yes. Does the lore support it? Yes and no. Has there been a character in lore that was a demon that is no longer a demon? Yes. There's actually some. You can play as one in Rogue Trader. You can play as a formerly possessed human, and it depends how far down, because they did ascend to demonhood, so their physical form is gone. So you would need a new physical form for them to make their body again, and then you would need to transfer parts of their soul into it. And since their soul is bound with the demon, there is still part of their soul that you could extract and put into the body and then make them. Yeah, I assume the Imperium can find a way, or the Emperor could find a way, or Yvraine could just fucking clap her cheeks and bring him back. Just look at that, God of the Dead. Wow, that was so difficult. The walking plot hole, or maybe Belisarius called a walking plot hole could do it as well. So yeah, do I think they can come back? Yes. Yeah, that is my answer. My answer is long-winded and confusing. So if you want your answer long-winded and confusing answered, please comment with question in the front of it, followed by the question. Makes it really easy for me to filter through comments and get to it. As always, I'm Northern Queen Alexis. I love you guys. Bye.